May I officially welcome the graduating class of Houghton Academy for 2018 to our 130th annual commencement ceremony, and also to welcome all parents, grandparents, members of the Academy Board of Trustees, Academy officers, Academy faculty members, any Houghton College faculty and officials who are here, and other community guests and school guests. We're so glad you have joined us today. Particularly, I would like to welcome and recognize by asking the many following that I will name to stand. And remain standing, please. And we will hold our applause until the end. There are many to recognize. Some may be busy right now, but the first one is standing at the back. Mr. Scott Frazier, Chief Finance and Operations Officer, Director of Admission. Mrs. Judy Mollenkoff, Principal and Director of Residence Life. Would you all keep standing? Mr. Jonathan Reds, Campus Life Activities Coordinator, School Leadership Team Member and History Teacher. Mrs. Janice Smithley, School Counselor, Dean and Dean for Academic Achievement. Mrs. Ann McNeil, the Senior Class Advisor. And now a larger group of people, all faculty who worked with and taught seniors this year. Please rise. School support staff who helped in many ways with faculty, with seniors this year. Please rise. And the Houghton Academy residential life staff who worked with seniors this year in the dorm facilities, as well as the house parents of any seniors and homestay parents of any seniors. Please stand as well. If these I've mentioned, if any of you are not standing, please now stand if you're sat back down, and allow us to thank you for your work with this class throughout this year and prior years as well, for a successful year. Truly, their success is in large measure, here at the Academy at least, of course, much to their parents, but also to those of you who are employees of the school and external as well. Thank you very much. Next, I would like to recognize our platform seated participants, starting from your far left. Yes, that's right, your far left. Mrs. Yemisi Ayorinde, parent of a 2018 graduate. Mrs. Sarah Gurley, discipleship coordinator and student publications teacher, who will be speaking later. Mrs. Judy Mollenkoff, our principal and director of residence life. And Mrs. Ann McNeil, the senior class advisor and English teacher at the Academy. And one more special group. I want to finally welcome all the students who are currently students here. I'm not going to ask you to stand, but in particular I am going to ask those to stand who are returning alumni. This could be your faculty members, it could be your just the first time back since you graduated, or any number of times in between that you've been here. Would you please stand? We'd like to recognize you. We look forward to catching up with you during the reception following these exercises. So please this morning enjoy the ceremony. Please observe all courtesies due a formal ceremony. And I invite you now to stand and join with us in singing our commencement hymn, O God, our help in ages past, the words to which are found in your program. After the hymn, please remain standing for the invocation.
we came to Houghton, and I've had difficulty pronouncing that name. Every time they ask where your kids schooling, I'm like, what? And I remember that the way the British taught us to read, if I was to read that way, it would actually be pronounced Houghton. So pardon my pronunciation this morning. I'm so glad for this opportunity to be here. Houghton has given me the privilege to be. I wanted a quiver full of like 7 kids. I went as far as 3, but now I have so many children from different parts of the world, from China, from Japan, Vietnam, Rwanda. And I'm so blessed, I'm so happy, because this class, I've had a chance to speak to them over the time and given them a lot of advice, a lot of encouragement, and as a mother would to her child, her children. And I'm so happy that they have had the opportunity to be in this school that has helped them, shaped them, hopefully, to be able to prepare them to face the world out there. Because like part of what I try to tell them, if you remember guys, is that it is really difficult out there. And you know, this shield you have here, it doesn't go farther than this. It's just that what they have taught you over the years is supposed to help you to be able to succeed, to go and love, live, lead. You've learned, and to learn more, so that whatever the challenge that comes your way, because they will come, because the Bible actually also prepares us for that by saying in the world we're going to have tribulations, but that you should be of good cheer. He has overcome the world. And that is the assurance that you ought to have going out there, that whatever the problem, He has been there to make it easier for you. And you just need to, Bible says that he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty, to continue to dwell in that place and continue to seek His face, His direction. So you know about the choices that we talked about, making the right choices so that you can create good memories and just keep like being positive in the world and make a difference. Like they're gonna look at you and say, these guys came from this school, there's something different about them because of the way that they have been brought up, they have been taught. You know, you're gonna be good ambassadors of God, of your families, of your parents, and of the school. Anywhere that they see you, they're going to know, they're going to want to come back here. They're going to want to send their kids here because there's something special they're going to see in you. And so, I'm so proud of you guys, Elaine, Tomu, Kevin, my friend from China, Wade from Vietnam. I mean, anywhere I go, he's going to probably piloting the plane, the Emirates plane that I'm going to be taking one day. That's so much to look forward to. And I wish you all the best in life. Anywhere that I go in the world, I plan to go to China, I haven't been. And I have the confidence that I might see you there, right? And you're going to be doing well in all your endeavors, in all your aspirations. And before I pray, it feels incomplete to pray without singing a praise song. So can you just spare me a few minutes? When I look into your holiness, when I gaze into your loveliness, when all things that surround be like shadows in the light of you. I found the joy of reaching your heart, when my will becomes enthroned in your heart, when all things that surround be like shadows in the light of you. I worship you. I worship you, Lord. The reason I live is to worship you. I worship you. I worship you, Lord. The reason I live is to worship you. And so, Lord, I pray for my children this morning. Commit them into your able hands, thanking you for what you've done in their lives, thanking you for this opportunity they've had for the past years in this community, thanking you for what you deposited in them, your excellent spirit that you deposited in each and every one of them. Thanking you, O Lord, for keeping them all these years from harm, from danger, protecting them, O Lord, even as we send them away so far from home each time, and they would come back in good health, and Lord God Almighty, taking care of their goings and comings, and whilst they were in this school, this academy, we thank you, O Lord God Almighty, for this day that has come in their lives. We thank you, Lord, for bringing them this far. We thank you that it has been you that has brought them this far. We thank you, O Lord God Almighty, because you're not about to leave them. You're about to take them even to the next level. You're about to lead them and guide them. Father, we only want to commit them into your able hands and pray that, Lord, you go all the way with them. We want to pray that, Lord, as they go into the world, as they take the next step, you will be right there beside them, before them, behind them, all around them. We want to pray that, Lord, you will cover them, O Lord God Almighty, in the day and night. They will not walk into danger. You will protect them, O Lord, with your protection. You will lead them. You will guide them. You will help them to make the right choices. They will not be under any pressure, under peer pressure to do the wrong things. You will always speak to them. The excellent spirit in them that you have put in them, oh Lord, is going to grow. It's going to make them shine in the world. It's going to make them the salt of the earth truly. It's going to make them the light in darkness. Father, they're going to prosper. They're going to excel in all their different ways, in all their different paths. Lord, they're not going to derail. They're going to be focused. You're going to give them what it takes, what they need to survive, to succeed. So that years down, oh Lord, when we see them, we will have cause to glorify your holy name. Their teachers will always be happy to hear from them. We parents will be glad and rejoicing anywhere that we are hearing from them and seeing them. And we would have much more opportunities even to celebrate their successes, even as we celebrate this one today. We commit this whole program into your hands as it's coming to an end. We thank God for yesterday's program. We pray that, Lord, you continue with us today, oh Lord God Almighty, and let it truly be a celebration. We thank you, oh Lord, for the good weather. We thank you, oh Lord, because everyone that is also traveling, oh Lord, journey mercies will go, your journey mercies, oh Lord, will be upon them. And Father, Lord God Almighty, you will always give us reason to praise your name. All this we pray in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Known to us as Thomas Rongyao Wang, is a distinguished Houghton Academy scholar, president of the Student Senate. He has earned 24 college credits, having taken advanced classes that included calculus and philosophy. Thomas has enjoyed playing and managing varsity boys soccer, serving in the past as junior class president, founding the board game club, and I think is a charter member of what is called the Arizona Club. He will study philosophy at the College of William and Mary in Virginia this fall. With a grade point average, that's good, go ahead. You might want to clap again now. With a grade point average of 98.65, please welcome the class of 2018 salutatorian Rongyao Wang.
Good morning. So, like any other graduation speech, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea for me to start with some thank yous. But I think it would take too long, maybe longer than this whole morning, to say thank you to each of the individuals that have helped me over the last 3 years. So I just want to give a big capitalized thank you to all the people that have brought joys and lessons into my life, and special thanks to my mom who brought me here and made everything possible. For promise I've made with my friends, I have had the subject prepared for my speech since last year. There are many things like the formulas and the speed of sound I remembered from physics class that I'll never forget. And if I were to draw some common things from all the memories I have had, I can only think about my friends. As much as I hate symbolism, this is the best symbol of my friendship. When I first came here, I did not speak very much, I did not know English very well. And what later became the Arizona Club invited me, and they were the first friends I made here, and that changed me a lot. I could have made a 2,000 slide presentation about what silly things we have done, but I don't want them to be awkward and tear my body apart on this special occasion. So I decided to think about something good about them, which was quite a challenging task. I cannot think about good or bad because I know them as who they are. Some of them are the best gamers I know, some are not. Some of them are the best soccer player I know, some are not. Some of them are very good at sleeping in class. Some of them are even better. We like different chemicals in this drink, and all together we make up the flavor that tastes good. Maybe instead of cherishing a particular kind of chemical, we should enjoy the drink, in this case, the friendship itself, as a whole. But luckily, we're not chemicals to be consumed, nor will our friendship expire over time like this drink. I hope whatever we start in high school will not end with this graduation. I hope the last 3 years was only the beginning of different journeys. I hope years from now there will be the same group of people making the same jokes. Friends are not simply people who talk to every day, nor are they merely someone with the same hobbies, maybe the same dreams. Friends are people that can be trusted and valued with all our heart. Distance is not a factor in this. I hope all of my classmates have met someone that you will remember and try to connect with the rest of your life. Like how we say goodbye in Chinese. I'll see you next time. 再见. Thank you.
Grace Retz has also distinguished herself here at Houghton Academy as a scholar servant and athlete in high school. President of the National Honor Society and Student Senate, she has received leadership awards and attended youth, local and national leadership conferences. She has blessed others as a Zimala and Bible study group leader, assisted with vacation Bible school and Sunday school at church. She served as a Rotary Club Christmas basket distributor and a member of Impact Crew here at Houghton Academy. She received 3 MAC Scholar Athlete Awards in girls soccer in high school. Grace plans to study biology and intercultural studies at Houghton College. With a grade point average of 100.45, I'm not sure how that happens, but I know I never got there. Please welcome the class of 2018 valedictorian, Grace.
To mark the beginning of each new school year, Houghton Academy presents its students with a welcome back gift of sorts. An agenda. I've used mine endlessly, as you can tell. It served as a reminder for me of all the work that needed to be done and by when. Most of all, it gave me a sense of control. I could plan precisely when I needed to finish this assignment or that project. Look ahead and know exactly what was coming. There were basically no surprises. I've learned that that's kind of how we try to approach life. We want to plan everything down to the minute, ensuring that things happen our way. Don't get me wrong, I don't see many people whipping out their school planners when they're walking down the road or hanging out with their friends. But there's no denying that we try to plan our lives, or at least have a vision of how they should go. Last week, I asked my classmates this question: what career did you envision yourself doing when you were in elementary school? How has that plan changed over the years? Here's what I found out. As elementary school students, my classmates wanted to do anything from cosmetology to zookeeping, even as far as being the real-life Pocahontas. Those plans eventually changed to outdoor leadership and ministry careers, mental health careers, and for the young kid who wanted to be Pocahontas, well, she decided that she needed to get a real job. Isn't it interesting how drastically our plans can change? All through elementary, middle, and high school, I envisioned myself saving animals as a veterinarian. That was my dream, and guess what? I'm not studying veterinary sciences next year. I'm going down a much different path, just like many of my friends here are. Our plans change. Now, those plans changing might not carry much weight. You might hear those examples and say, well, obviously their plans were going to change, or so what, it's not that big of a deal. And you might be right. But what about when your plans change drastically and for what seems like the worst? What do you do when it downpours endlessly on your perfectly planned trip? What about when you get rejected to the college of your dreams? What about when you're forced to leave your home and the people that you love? What about when your house burns down? Or when you're diagnosed with cancer? No one added these hardships to their agenda. No one was planning on it happening in their life. Still, it did. These examples have happened to many of us sitting on this stage and in this room. They're very hard to comprehend. Why couldn't life simply follow the rules of the handbook? Why couldn't it listen to my to-do list? Many of us have already asked these questions during our lifetime. Many haven't, but will. As you walk out of this room, you'll be reminded that your planner only goes so far. But this news isn't something to grieve. The fact that our plans are constantly being torn apart is something to rejoice in and to be thankful for. God tells us through the prophet Jeremiah, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future." You see, while our plans seem to be falling apart, God's plans are falling into place. And His plans are far beyond what we could have ever imagined. They're plans to prosper us, not to harm us, to give us hope and a future. When I wanted nothing but to control my uncontrollable situation, I found myself at Houghton Academy. This school wasn't in my agenda, but it turns out it's exactly where I needed to be. When I was told wait by the college of my dreams, I found my passion. And when I heard the word cancer, I found a deeper appreciation for life. Through it all, I have learned that I cannot rely on myself and my plans. I've learned that God will take my agenda and rip out the pages. He has wrecked my plans, and I have no doubt that He'll do the same for you. Seniors, starting today, we're stepping into a world unknown. We are no longer the big guys on campus. Our plans will be flipped upside down, and we will not understand why. I challenge you to express reckless gratitude for the amazing moments of your lives. And when life seems unfair, painful, and broken, when your plans are flipped upside down, express gratitude. God has a purpose for each and every one of you through both the good times and the bad. So as you leave this room, remember Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace and Thomas, both for those good words for us this morning. Delivering our commencement address this morning is Mrs. Sarah Gurley, who has taught at Houghton Academy the past 4 years, serving in this past year, 2017-18, as discipleship coordinator, and as she has as well supervised student publications, taught the dual credit oral interpretation course, as well as photography and leadership classes. Originally hailing from Green Bay, Wisconsin, Sarah attended Indiana Wesleyan University, where she graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Christian Worship. She has a Master of Arts degree in Ministry Leadership from Crown College in St. Bonifacius, Minnesota. After finishing her undergraduate degree, she then moved to South Korea to work in a Christian boarding school where she met Dan Gurley, a 2001 Houghton Academy alumnus. They married in 2010, and Mr. Gurley promised that he would never make her move back to his hometown of Houghton. 4 years and 2 states later, they moved into Houghton to work at Houghton Academy. I guess they also had a planner that was different from one another's in God's beauty. The Gurleys have 3 daughters, Emmeline, Annalay, and Alicia. Lacey. Sarah and Dan plan to move to Indianapolis, Indiana this summer, where Dan will teach physical education at Kingsway Christian School beginning fall of 2018. Would you please give a warm welcome to Mrs. Sarah Gurley, our
parents, friends, family, esteemed colleagues, not so esteemed colleagues, and graduates. I want to sincerely thank you for allowing me to speak today. When I was informed that the seniors had voted for me to be the commencement speaker, I was shocked. Why on earth would you vote for me? But then I realized it's because you know I don't consider myself a great speaker, and you're hoping that I'll keep this short. Well, buckle up, students. I actually worked on this. While I had the joy of serving each of you as your discipleship coordinator this year, I only had the privilege of teaching 22 of you in class. So I will give one last lesson for the 11 of you who never got to experience the sheer brilliance of a Mrs. Gurley lecture. And for the rest of you who undoubtedly missed them and are going through intense withdrawal symptoms. So with respect to everyone in the audience, my words have been written for the graduates. The graduates who have not yet received their diplomas I might add, and can still be subjected to a faculty lecture. You have all just stepped foot in my classroom for the last time. Liam, put your phone away. I asked you, the class of 2018, what you wanted to hear in a commencement address. Some responses were quite heartfelt, like nuggets of wisdom and something inspirational. Others were less than reverent, like funny stories and jokes. But I took them all to heart and then used none of them. After all, what is the purpose of a commencement address? To bestow knowledge and wisdom on the young graduates. No pressure, right? In reality, a commencement address is meant to deliver profound words of inspiration that none of you will remember in a year. So instead of talking about anything new or earth-shattering, instead of taking the easy way out and saying something like, work hard and follow your dreams and life will be rainbows and unicorns, I'm going to be real. I'm going to say my piece to this class that I love so dearly, and then I will let you fly like the little birds you are. Wade, turn around. So here's the truth. High school may have been the best time of your life. Yep, you heard me. Your best years are over. It's all downhill from here. You're just getting off the best, most exciting ride at the amusement park, and all that's left are the spinning teacups and bumper cars. You just experienced the best years of your life. Faith, this was it for you. At least that's what some people will say. I'm creeping up on my 15-year high school reunion. I know, shocking. And while I keep in touch with some of my high school friends via social media or coffee dates when I'm in my hometown, for the most part, I really don't dwell on the 4 years I spent in those halls. Don't get me wrong, I loved high school. I rocked high school. But for me, high school wasn't the end. It wasn't the beginning, it just was. Yet at 30-something years old, so many of my high school classmates will point to those 4 years as the best in their lives. I implore you, don't let that be you. Don't let these past 4 years be a benchmark for which you compare the rest of your life. Every stage is different. Every season brings its challenges and joys. Embrace each stage without comparison of what became before or what is to come. Every stage will bring new experiences. The danger is when we hold on to that life stage too hard out of fear that the next one won't compare. Comparison steals contentment. Live each one of life's stages to the fullest without fear of what's to come. Ray, take your headphones off. You know who I'm talking to. You have the unique situation of knowing each and every person in your graduating class. You guys have it pretty good. There are challenges to going to a small school, sure. You have fewer electives and athletic teams, but there are so many blessings. At my high school graduation, I got to sit next to my best friend, and as names were called and students walked across the stage, we looked at each other with confused expressions and said, "Do you have any idea who that person is?" Or, "I have never seen that person before in my life." We were graduating with a class of almost 700, and I knew less than half of them. But you know each other, in and out. You know each other's names, at least the English ones. You know each other's habits, good and bad. Take delight in that. Keep in touch with one another. Be a support system for each other in whatever comes next. You guys have an amazing class. I pray that you look back on your time at Houghton Academy with fond memories and timeless stories, like all the times Garrett would hide in the trash cans and then get stuck in those trash cans. Or when Wade would snore in Miss Pauling's class, or Mr. Harder's class, or any class. Or when several of you did the salt dance with Evan Coons in Washington, D.C. Various trips you took together during breaks to places like San Francisco and Boston. Or when Liam fought Quinn, who was trying to steal candy corn from Mrs. McNeil's desk. Or that class party you took to Minahans and the unfortunate events that led to a smelly bus and a Jessica panic attack. Or Kevin singing in English class. Or Elena forgetting her own name in a cheer. You have a treasure trove of memories with one another. Don't forget them. Remember them with fondness and celebrate this concluded life stage. Caleb, put the sandwich away. You wouldn't think a teacher would have to tell their student that at 9:30 in the morning. Let alone every day at 9:30 in the morning. You've been told your entire academic career that F's are bad. F's are the epitome of a truly poor student. Anytime an F popped up on Veracross, whether you admit it or not, part of you would shudder. But I'm here to challenge that thinking. I am here to ask you to embrace the F's. Specifically, 3 F's that have guided me and I hope will guide you as well. The first F I'd like you to embrace is failure. There is something entirely beautiful when someone gives their all and wakes up with nothing to show for it. When something doesn't go as planned, rejoice. When you fall flat on your face, laugh it off. Failure, or how we respond to our failure, helps to determine the kind of success story we will be. Confucius said, our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fail. I've had my share of failure. Like when I tried out for cheerleading my freshman year of high school. I was competing against 50 girls for one of 10 spots on the 9th grade cheer squad. I worked so hard that entire cheer camp, but when it came time to actually try out, I fell flat on my back while doing a cartwheel. Not a flip, mind you, a cartwheel, something that a 7-year-old can do. Needless to say, I did not make the cheer team. But did I let that stop me from trying out again the next year? Yes. Yes, I did. Because in my failure, I realized that cheer wasn't my calling. I was more gifted in song and dance, and my school happened to have a really good show choir. So I did that and had great success. See, in my failure, I took a step back and analyzed if I was truly working within my gifts. The failure helped me to see that cheer wasn't for me, and that I was better suited for entirely different co-curricular. You've heard the saying, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. And while that's true to a certain extent, it falls short of the whole story. If at first you don't succeed, stop. Take a look at why you didn't succeed. Make the necessary adjustments. Let the failure be the step to the side you need to catch your breath and continue on, either on the same path or a slightly different one. I implore you, embrace the failure. Learn to fail with grace and beauty now while you are young, and you'll be better equipped to deal with whatever comes your way. Ty, wake up. Grace. Grace, you're good. The second F I want to embrace is fervor, an intense and passionate feeling. What do you have a fervor for? I would venture to guess that you are all passionate about something other than your phones and PUBG. Please say you are passionate about something other than PUBG. Is it academia? Maybe you should be a professor. Do you have a fervor for helping those less fortunate? Maybe you should be a social worker. Do you have a fervor for art, medicine, or languages? Think about how to put that fervor to use. Discover your passions in life. Figure out what it is you're not only good at, but that you actually like to do. When I was 6 years old, I decided that I was going to be a professional singer. Like any good supportive parents, my mom and dad encouraged me. My dad even whittled a pretend microphone out of a wooden dowel for me to use as a prop. As time went on and I proved to everyone that I was in fact not tone deaf, I thought maybe I could actually do this. The summer after my high school graduation, I traveled across the country with a group of friends to compete in a national showcase for singer-songwriters. I didn't win, but but I did make it into the top 15 in the nation. My fervor for singing and songwriting wasn't squashed. So I continued. I recorded 2 independent albums and started touring throughout Indiana during my college years. I competed again, this time in Nashville, and ended up losing to someone whose songs now transmit over national radio on a daily basis. Every time I hear one of her songs, it reminds me of how close I got to that life, how close I came to achieving my dream. With my college graduation looming, I had to decide whether to continue chasing after my dream, my passion, or to go in a different direction. After a lot of prayer and countless conversations over tubs of ice cream with my roommates, I decided to hang up the dream I had been clinging to since the age of 6. Instead, I pursued student ministry, and I can honestly say I haven't regretted it for a second. I was passionate about something. I pursued it. I gave it my all, but I walked away without regret and no what-ifs. I found a new passion that has given me more fulfillment than I could have ever imagined. Just because you're passionate about something doesn't mean you're going to be the best at it. For a time, I was passionate about cheer. We all know how that turned out. So I challenge you to find your fervor. Discover what you're passionate about. Figure out if you're good enough to make a career out of it. If not, uncover how you can do it on the side. Join a community theater. Play basketball in a league. I still love singing, so I found a way to use it in my daily life without it being my entire career. If you aren't living out your passions in life, you're always going to feel like you're missing out. Don't just pick a career because of the financial promise or the ease of undergraduate requirements. Pick a career you can be passionate about, because without fervor, without passion, you'll be bored before you reach the age of 30. Pastor and author John Piper said, "Desire that your life count for something great. Long for your life to have eternal significance. Want this. Don't coast through life without a passion. Find your fervor. Discover your passions and do them." Thomas, Lily, speak English. The final F I challenge you to embrace, and admittedly the most important, is faith. As a Christian, I can't imagine facing life without the knowledge that there is someone greater than me. There is someone who not only listens to me, but cares enough to walk with me. It is faith in Jesus and the Lord's perfect plan that led me to work at a school in South Korea when I was just 23 years old. Despite fears of moving by myself across the world, I knew that's what the Lord had in store for me. And it just so happened that I met your dear PE teacher, Mr. Gurley, there. It was faith that allowed me to face the horror of our wedding day as Mr. Gurley was rushed into an emergency appendectomy just 8 hours before our ceremony was to begin. And it's faith that the Lord has us in the palm of his hands that enables us to face the sobering reality of Mr. Gurley's cancer diagnosis. We've only known about Mr. Gurley's cancer for 10 days, but the past 10 days would have looked drastically different if we didn't have faith. We have faith that the Lord is going to use our suffering for good. We have undeniable hope and can rejoice that the Lord is not done writing Mr. Gurley's story yet. We don't know all that the Lord is planning to accomplish through this very real, large trial, but we have faith it's going to be big and so very sweet. Without faith, without the knowledge that we are each one piece in a much greater plan, what are we left with? Individuals looking out for their own interests in a world that has no true purpose. You live your life, get ahead or fall behind, and then it ends. All for what? That's not the kind of life I choose to live. If you hear anything from me today, I urge you to live your life with strong faith, knowing that your life matters to a very big God. Let him use you to accomplish amazing things. Have faith when trials come and have faith when things are great. Never forget that you are loved and there is someone who will always listen. Have faith that he is there and eager to wrap you in his everlasting arms. Hebrews says, faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we cannot see. I am certain that the Lord is using Mr. Gurley's cancer for good. I have faith in that. And that truth is what allows me to put one foot in front of the other and face this great trial. So class, let's review. First, embrace the failure. Find your and have faith. Very good. Remember that. It would behoove you to know those terms should the next class contain a form of knowledge assessment that will come your way. Now the bell's about to ring. Zeb, sit down. It's not over yet. So let me finish with this. The Houghton Academy class of 2018 is filled with enormous potential. We have future doctors and nurses, future CEOs and teachers, future engineers and farmers, 33 amazing minds and beautiful hearts that can leave this place and go on to change the world. So do it. Do it. Challenge yourself to make the world a better place each and every day. You don't have to change the entire world. You can impact just one person and you've changed theirs. Those of you who took my servant leadership class were challenged to do hard things. Make a habit of this. Challenge yourself to do one hard thing every single day. You may be amazed by the person you become and the lives you impact. For each of you are more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Fail with grace, find your fervor, and embrace faith each and every day. Class dismissed.
Rather hard to say what for because I don't want to try to summarize that. That was great, but thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. I would like right now that Mrs. Esther Clark and Mrs. Jamie O'Kelly would please come forward for a special presentation, not in the agenda or program today. I have the envelopes. Service is an important aspect of Houghton Academy life. Many people, including these parents and some of you, volunteer in numberless ways here at the Academy, and service will become an even more important part of the Academy community life in the future. Therefore, it seems more important than ever to recognize their contributions. In 2011, Esther Clark and her husband Mike enrolled their oldest 3 children in Houghton Academy. From the very beginning, Esther has been a blessing, faithfully serving and volunteering hundreds of hours, gifting us with many musical talents, abilities, being mom to many international and day students, chaperoning, hosting class parties, assisting our teachers and staff in a variety of ways. Her willingness and availability to serve as a substitute teacher has been invaluable as well. Truly, God has blessed us with you and your family, and we're thankful. Our journey with Mrs. O'Kelly began in the fall of 2013 upon the enrollment of her daughter and son. Whenever she takes on a task, her dedication and going above and beyond the call of duty has been an example to all of us. Designing, constructing, assisting in countless areas, cooking, encouraging, running errands, costume creating, organizing. These are just some of the ways she has contributed and invested in the students, blessed our faculty and staff here at the Academy. We have been blessed by both of you and we're thankful. Although you have both been recognized at previous commencement and other ceremonies, we are compelled to do so again in 2018. Your sacrifices of time, energy, and resources speak volumes. You have provided us the example of genuine service to others, demonstrating in action God's command to love our neighbors as ourselves. So once again, Thank you. Thank you for the spirit of service that you have brought to Houghton Academy, and God bless you. It's my pleasure to inform you that there's an intermission coming while we reset some things, but before that I need to mention that several thanks actually. Again, I will not mention all of our special guests, but I will thank full for those who behind the scenes have done several things. Our pianist this morning, Jerome Bell, our vocal director, sound and light crew, reception, Mr. Taylor for the that part of it, Ms. Johnson for the art exhibit in the foyer, and many others that I probably don't have right here. Houghton Academy's vision, as you know, is to prepare students to live authentically, to learn deeply, to lead globally, and to love boldly for God's glory. Our school verse, it's symbolized with the logo that's on the wall outside in the Commons area, the tree, the oak, with spreading branches, is the passage from Isaiah 61, verses 1 to 3. And I'd like to do this as a context for the reason that we do the rest of this program. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives and the opening of the prison to those who are bound, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all those who mourn, to grant to those who mourn in Zion, to give them a beautiful headdress instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, the garment of praise instead of a faint spirit, that they may be called oaks of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he may be glorified. It's important to acknowledge this because it's why we do what we do, that these students would be this to our world. These verses provide this context for our ultimate purposes. At this point, Mrs. Malakoff, our principal, will continue with commencement awards and then followed by the diplomas.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. The class of 2018 is a unique and diverse group of students. These 33 students come from 3 continents, 5 countries, and academically, 30 of the 33 GPAs are above 80%, and 15 of those are above 90%. Collectively, as a class, they have received 88 college acceptance letters, and as a class, they have earned a total of 275 college credits. Well, they're now in high school. At this time, we would like to present our senior awards. We are proud of each of our students and are confident they will enjoy great success in the future as God leads them. The first award to be presented is the Distinguished Senior Athlete Award. This award is presented to 1 male and 1 female student, recognizing courage, poise, self-confidence, and leadership as a senior athlete. Houghton Academy takes pleasure in presenting our 2018 Distinguished Athlete Awards to Caleb DeGallier and Elena Conklin. Our next award is the Senior Art Award. This year, all Houghton Academy AP Art students successfully completed an AP Art portfolio. The Art Department has selected 2 co-recipients for this award. Both of these students paid careful attention to details in their work. They have been published in the Celebrating Art hardbound books competition, won ribbons at ACSI art festivals, and received awards in the Teen Photography Show in Wells Hill, New York. They have learned to use a computer program called GIMP and created beautiful digital art pieces. Congratulations to Ling Lee and Emily Pierce. Our next two awards come from the music department. Throughout this school year, this student has continued to be a leader in the Houghton Academy Senior Choir. Her natural musicianship, coupled with her hard work and willingness to take risks, has allowed her to grow as a musician. She serves as an example of a student who pursues excellence in musicianship while remaining faithful to the Savior. This pursuit serves as the embodiment of the music department's beliefs and philosophical ideals. The Academy takes pleasure in presenting the 2018 Vocal Music Award to Lily Sardina. The Senior Instrumental Music Award. This valued student is an extremely talented and very hardworking individual. As a member of the flute section, she constantly bolsters those around her, from suggesting fingerings to supplying helpful advice. She is a leader who makes those around her better musicians and better people. Congratulations to Jessica Voss. The first of the academic awards is Daniel Edward Lucky Memorial Senior Math Science Awards. Daniel was the son of Dr. and Mrs. Robert Lucky. Dr. Lucky was a former Houghton College Vice President, President of Indiana Wesleyan University, an Academy alumnus and board member. Mrs. Lucky taught at the Academy. They had 4 children graduate through the Academy. Danny's brother Peter with Nancy Lucky have long served as homestay parents. Danny was a member of the class of 1973, and this award is given in his memory. These awards are presented to the students with the highest averages in math and science courses during the 4 years of high school. The Daniel Edward Lucky Math Award goes to Thomas Wang. And the Daniel Edward Lucky Science Award also goes to Thomas Wang. The following awards are given to the students who meet the following criteria: a strong GPA, active class participation, evidence of critical thought that shows ability to analyze and respond to various media, points of view, and important issues within the area of study, a strong work ethic, outstanding quality of work. The academic award in English goes to Jessica Voss. The academic award in history goes to Liam McNeil. And the academic award in Christian studies goes to Grace Retz. Our next award is the Faculty Award. The Faculty Award is given to students whose contributions are often not recognized in traditional ways, but who undoubtedly have made a difference. This award is selected by the faculty and is this year bestowed upon 2 students. Our first recipient is a steady, reliable young woman with a thoughtful smile, an achiever who gives her best effort to everything she does, conscientious and diligent, whether in the classroom, on the volleyball court, or anywhere in between. She is a perseverer who through her years has shown herself diligent and kind-hearted, a true scholar servant. The recipient of the first of the 2 2018 faculty awards is Alyssa Clark. The second awardee's delightful smile and contagious laugh complements her spirit of wonder and gratitude. She has persevered in part through her risk-taking spirit. There is nothing she won't try. She sets the standard for determination and perseverance through adversity. For all of this and a smile on her face and her infectious laugh, the recipient of the second 2018 Faculty Award is Doris Lang. Mr. Nelson will now present the final 2 senior awards.
Thank you, Mrs. Mollenkoff. We are privileged to present, and I am privileged to present, the Head of School Award to a student who has had an all-around impact on the spirit and life of Houghton Academy, one who both exhibits and encourages in others a high degree of the spirit of excellence. This year, the award honors a person who very quietly and usually unassumingly demonstrates an attitude such as the scriptures espouse in 2 Chronicles 19:9, where it mentions in faithfulness and with a whole heart. For his display of the Houghton Academy core values of integrity, responsibility, and accountability, as well as the marks he has made in both school spirit and quiet leadership, the 2018 Head of School Award recipient is Zebedee Ayarun. The final award before the diplomas are bestowed is the Christian Character Award. It's given to students who consistently, or usually to a student, who consistently exemplifies a strong Christian testimony in life, as evidenced in a growing relationship with Christ, as much as this can be determined outwardly. For faithfully striving to live out the Christian faith, we are pleased to present the Christian Character Award of 2018 to 2 individuals, Lily Sardina and Grace Retz.
Mr. Nelson, Mrs. Mollenkoff, faculty, staff, and honored guests. It is a delight to present to you the class of 2018. Each local and international student has a unique story, touched by the Lord's will and protection. By God's providence, they were guided to Houghton Academy, where they have shared their personalities and zest for life with each other and all of us. This class leaves a legacy of accomplishment, talent, fun, and compassion. It has been a joy being their class advisor. By God's grace, they have completed their required studies and stand ready to receive their Houghton Academy diplomas. It is my pleasure to announce our graduates and to read their respective biographies. Zebedee Ayomide Ayurinde. Zebedee has made his mark in athletics, music, and drama at Houghton Academy. He is a member of the ski club, named All-Star in both soccer and track, and received Offensive Player and Sportsmanship awards. He distinguished himself as a Zamala group leader, SLC member, and a dancing waiter in Hello Dolly. A memorable talent show host, Zeb will be attending St. John's University in the fall. Erin Lynn Barber. Erin, a fan of board games and computer science, has earned 19 college credits through advanced studies while in high school. He participated in 4 years of ski club and served as class treasurer and stage crew member. He was a modified soccer and track team member and senior class treasurer. The seniors will never forget Erin's exuberant junior class officer campaign speech. He has earned a presidential scholarship to Rochester Institute of Technology. Alyssa Sue Clark. Alyssa has attended Houghton Academy for 7 years and served as basketball manager every single year. She was a National Honor Society member and recipient of academic and ACSI Spiritual Life Awards. She played women's volleyball, sang in choir, and hosted class parties at her home. Covering school events was her job as a thumbprint newspaper reporter. She's involved in the children's program at church and plans to enroll in Liberty University Online to earn a degree in special needs elementary education. Charity Joy Coulter. Involved in numerous HA activities, Charity has a heart for service. She served as stage crew for Hello Dolly and has enjoyed ministering to the elderly at Absolute Care in Houghton. Her favorite group for the past 2 years has been Impact Crew. She participated in volleyball and track, receiving a varsity letter. After experiencing a gap year, Charity hopes to earn an applied science degree in early childhood education at Jamestown Community College. Elena Kanita Conklin. Elena has been accepted to 5 colleges and earned 15 hours of college credit. Her activities include NHS, class officer, Impact Crew president, Zamala leader, Spiritual Life Committee, Student Senate vice president. A band and choir member, she also distinguished herself on the athletic field, earning varsity letters in both soccer and basketball, and receiving Allegheny County Player of the Week and ACSI Athletic Awards. Her volunteerism at Vacation Bible School for Operation Christmas Child and Salvation Army Bell Ringer attests to her servant's heart. Elena will study social work and political science at Grove City. Ty Marcos Cooley. Ty is an artist and naturalist who plans to attend Miami University next fall. His biology work includes creating natural environments in his home and volunteering as a zoo teen at Seneca Park Zoo and Cornell. He has been a competitive swimmer, soccer player, singer, and actor, best remembered for his role as Barnaby in the musical Hello Dolly. He has earned 9 college credits and lists his biggest accomplishment as surviving Miss Pauling's chemistry class. Caleb Isaac DeGoyer. Caleb has attained distinction as a member of National Honor Society, Snowboard Club, and being a founding father of the Arizona Club. He's also remembered as Rudolph, the head waiter in Hello Dolly. He has earned numerous athletic honors and varsity letters in golf team, in soccer, and in sectional and senior all-star play in basketball. He is a fine athlete. He was awarded County All-Star, Senior All-Star, and MVP. He sends well wishes to his beloved tech crew and future musical actors. Caleb is presently undecided about his future plans and will take a gap year, working at Table Rock Farms, before attending college in 2019. Jun Bang. Jun joined the student body in 2017. He enjoyed the class party at Minahan's, the senior retreat, and the 2018 senior class trip. He has earned 6 college credits, 4 in computer science and 2 in computer applications. He played guard and lettered in boys varsity basketball. While he has not decided upon a college major at this time, he has been accepted to Irvine Valley College in Irvine, California, where he hopes to study diligently alongside his fellow students. Cheyenne Nicole Heath. Cheyenne has attended our school for only 1 year, but during that time she has come to know the Academy as her home. She brought her singing talent along with her, having been a member of her church worship team and the Wellsville School and Chamber Choirs. She also sang alto in the Wellsville a cappella vocal ensemble, recorded a CD, and earned quarterfinalist competition honors. Roles in the musicals Schoolhouse Rock and here at Houghton Academy as Irene Malloy in Hello Dolly spotlight her love of singing. She was also an HA Panther cheerleader. Cheyenne will attend Toccoa Falls College, pursuing a major in outdoor leadership and education. Ray Wong. Better known by his classmates as Rui, Ray joined our class in 2017. He has a smooth sense of style. Back home in China, he earned a second place award in a trumpet solo match. At his previous military school, he earned a junior ROTC honor ribbon and distinguished himself on the rifle drill team. He enjoys playing tennis and has been a member of the Houghton Academy tennis team for 2 years, earning a varsity letter. He has played in the school band. Ray will take a travel gap year and attend an American university in 2019. Tom was always willing to help his class and often served in the class concessions booth at soccer and basketball games. His art, entitled London Bridge, was published in Celebrating Art. Tom is an avid chess club member, winning the school tournament in 2016. Many students joined his fan club over the years to cheer him on as an excellent singles tennis player and league all-star. After graduation, he plans to attend Eastern Florida College for Flight Management and to buy his first BMW. Wan Lee. Kevin enjoyed being friends with both international and day students while enrolled at the Academy. He was a member of the school choir and was well known for his singing talent, both on stage and in English class. He acted in chapel skits and was a chorus member in Hello Dolly. He played on the golf team, earning a varsity letter, and played with and managed the boys' varsity basketball team. Kevin plans on attending the University of Massachusetts at Boston. Was active in many extracurricular activities at Houghton Academy. She played modified and varsity volleyball, varsity golf, and managed the varsity girls basketball team. She loved hitting the slopes in ski club. She served on dorm council and volunteered at Children's Church and the church nursery. A talented artist, Lorinda spent many hours in the art room helping Miss Johnson. Her art was published in the spring 2017 edition of Celebrating Art, and her work won 2 ACSI Excellent Ribbons in 2016 and 2017. Lorinda will study at Ohio State University in the fall. Proud of you. Ray enjoys critical thinking and philosophy. He has a deep appreciation for classical music. He earned 9 college credits through Houghton College and 3 calculus credits from Roberts Wesleyan. He was an active member of National Honor Society and played on the varsity boys basketball team. He will attend Indiana University at Bloomington, studying business and management. Liam Patrick McNeil. A member of NHS and snowboarding club, Liam left his mark on Houghton Academy in sports, drama, and music. He played soccer and lettered in both varsity boys soccer and golf. His musical acting career started by playing JoJo in Seussical, continued with Snoopy in Charlie Brown, and ended this year as he played the irascible Horace in Hello, Dolly. He served on the chapel and church worship teams, playing bass guitar, and attended Boys State as a junior. His favorite pastime is riding a motorcycle. He will attend Houghton College this fall on a full Army ROTC scholarship to pursue a business degree. Garrett Patrick O'Kelly. Known as a great dodgeball player and the senior class's most positive pessimist, Garrett enjoys theater, music, and fine arts. He has sung in choir and was a major contributor to Houghton Academy Theater, starring in Joseph, Charlie Brown, The Best Christmas Pageant, All I Really Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten, and Hello, Dolly. He has taught dance classes and participated in competitions, winning Best Stage Performance. His servant attitude is apparent in his work at a local soup kitchen, acting in chapel skits, and serving as class officer and chaplain. Garrett has received a New York State Excelsior Scholarship and will attend Genesee Community College this fall as a theater major. Emily E. Pierce. Emily has been accepted at 4 colleges, but has chosen to attend Houghton College this fall. She is an avid reader and enjoyed writing book reviews for the school newspaper. Her flair for original costume design was apparent every Spirit Week. She played the little red-headed girl in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, and the whiny Ermengarde in Hello, Dolly. Emily enjoyed playing on the tennis team her junior year and working class concessions. She hopes to study creative writing, journalism, and communications at college. Elise Marie Porman. In addition to her regular high school course load, Elise earned 27 college credits and was an active member of National Honor Society. She is artistic, being published in Celebrating Art and receiving ACSI awards. She sang the national anthem at sports events and earned Allegheny County All-Star and the Coaches Award, participating on the cheer squad for 6 years. She acted in chapel skits and won an ACSI Superior Award for dramatic reading. Her singing accomplishments include choir membership, Allegro a cappella group, Solo Fest, superior vocal performance, and numerous roles in HA musicals and plays. Elise played 4 years of volleyball and served as team captain. Toccoa Falls College will welcome Houghton Academy's Dolly as she pursues a psychology degree this fall. Faith Susanna Reinbold. Faith shines in the senior class as a young lady talented in the fine arts. Her English teachers remember her ability to craft excellent essays and reports for the school newspaper. Faith lettered in girls volleyball and enjoyed participating in class activities. She acted the role of Phyllis in All I Ever Knew I Learned in Kindergarten. played interesting characters in chapel and oral interpretation skits, and most recently starred as Ernestina Money in Hello, Dolly. Faith's future plans are undecided, but we have high hopes for her success. Grace Elizabeth Retz, class of 2018 valedictorian. Grace wishes to express her gratitude to administrators, teachers, and other faculty members for pushing her to do her best and helping her to grow spiritually. She would also like to give a huge thank you to her parents and family for being her backbone throughout high school and all of life. To her peers, she wishes to give one of her favorite quotes. Maya Angelou once said, "If you must look back, do so forgivingly. If you must look forward, do so prayerfully. But the most important thing you can do is to be present in the present, gratefully." Jordan Roberts. Jordan has been a member of the modified and varsity boys soccer and basketball teams at Houghton Academy. His celebrations column in the Thumbprint newspaper gained a happy following, and he worked stage crew in a drama production. Jordan has a real heart for serving others and has done so on missions trips to the Dominican Republic. He plans to pursue a Spanish major at Cedarville University in Ohio. Lily Ann Sardina. A member of NHS, Lily has been active in sports, music, drama, chapel committee, and student activities. She was on track and field team and the cheerleading squad. She's played cello for 5 years and taken voice lessons, in addition to being in the All-County Orchestra and Area All-State Choir. Lily has enjoyed acting in numerous HA and community productions, including Seussical and Hello, Dolly. She has served her peers as class vice president, president, student senate rep, and worship team soloist. Lily received a number of scholarships and will be attending Grove City College to pursue exercise science with a physical therapy focus. Lily Tan. Lily stands out as the senior who rode every Hershey Park roller coaster on the senior trip. She is a talented artist and member of NHS. She served on the accreditation team as treasurer of Student Senate and as class rep. She was selected to be a Zamala group leader and has blessed little children ministering as a Sunday school assistant. Lily was a strong player on girls' basketball team, earning the coach's award and a varsity letter. She played on the golf team and was awarded Most Improved Player. Lily will head out to Lehigh University in Pennsylvania to study this fall. Luke Tang. Luke has enjoyed studying at Houghton Academy and taking college-level calculus, computer science, and computer apps. Golf, basketball, and soccer were Luke's team sports, earning him varsity letters. He has served as a church usher and assisted at Children's Church. Luke's Bank of Holland Craft ad was printed in the Arcade Penny Saver newspaper, and he received an excellent ribbon for his ACSI work in art. He loves working out at home and with his classmates during his free time when he's not eating takeout. This fall, Luke will attend Indiana University Bloomington for computer science. Tai Tran. Wade, an NHS member, has earned 19 college credits. He has served on Impact Crew and Chapel Spirit Life Committee and encouraged others as a Zamala group leader. Wade served as class vice president and on the junior-senior banquet committee. He played varsity basketball and soccer for Houghton Academy. Tai has a black belt in Taekwondo and is in the Vietnamese Boy Scouts. He will go to Houghton College to pursue an education major. Ivana Chiagika Vincent Otiono. Ivana has been a tireless advocate for human rights and gender equity through her Impact Crew membership video shares. She hopes to help others through her art. She has received a number of art awards, including ACSI Best Artist and Jurors Pick Award in the Teen Photography Show. She volunteered at St. Patrick's Catholic Church in Fillmore and received recognition at her home church. Ivana will study fine arts and photography at Art Students League of New York in the Big Apple. Jessica May Voss. Jessica earned 24 college credits while attending HA and has been awarded an impressive number of scholarships. An NHS member, Jessica served as Student Senate Vice President, Bible Study Leader, SLC member, and an Impact Crew. Her activities include choir and band, Hello Dolly stage crew, and hosting a student-led worship event. Her honors include ACSI Leadership and New York State Senate Leadership Awards. She enjoys writing free verse poetry and has participated in spoken word open mic events. This fall, she will pursue studies in psychology at Indiana Wesleyan University. Wang Yao Wang, salutatorian. Thomas wishes to thank the faculty for their encouragement and his homestay hosts for taking good care of him as he studied far from home. He would like to share Plato's famous quote with his classmates, "An unexamined life is not worth living." To the underclassmen, he says, "Be honest, be yourself. Don't be afraid. Try to question and challenge, and you will find success." Zicheng Wang. Doris could most often be found in the computer science room, taking on coding and technology problems with Dr. Petrillo. She has earned advanced credits in both computer science and apps and has been awarded numerous scholarships. An NHS member, Doris has distinguished herself by receiving the Perseverance Award. She enjoyed being part of ski and snowboard club over the past 3 years. She served as girls basketball manager for 2 years. Doris recently developed a professional level computer game. She will attend LeTourneau University this fall. Hannah Rose Wood. Hannah is a recipient of a number of academic scholarships, including the New York State Excelsior Award. She earned NHS membership as a junior and enjoyed participating in class activities, especially middle school trips to Boston and Pittsburgh. She played Princess Chenille in New Clothes for the Emperor and a bird girl in Seussical. She was on the varsity cheer squad for 6 years and became co-captain her sophomore year. She has served her community delicious coffee at Dunkin' Donuts for 2 years. Hannah will attend Geneseo State University to study biology with the goal of becoming a nurse practitioner. Yao Yang. Sean used his original service style to become HA Ping Pong Tournament Champion in 2017 and placed second in this year's competition. He enjoyed ski club membership for 2 years and was an excellent musician in the Academy Band. He was the man to beat in Board Game Club and proved his prowess in Computer Programming Club. Sean will attend Indiana University at Bloomington this fall. Brown has attended Houghton Academy for 3 years. He is a big basketball fan and enjoyed playing on the boys' varsity team, earning a letter for his seasoned play. Many of Brown's classmates admired his fantastic art class, Google Doodle, based on the Lunar New Year. He enjoyed studying architecture and art history. Brown loves cats and has several at home. He plans to attend college at Irvine Valley College in California. Chung. Larissa, like many students at the Academy, is an avid video player. She loved being with friends on the senior trip and visiting Hershey Park. She is thankful to have lived with the Luckies as her homestay family. She and her friends enjoyed helping out at Houghton Wesleyan Church. She took advanced calculus in addition to her regular studies. Larissa plans to attend Hong Kong Ningguan University to earn a degree in business management. I recommend on behalf of the faculty of Houghton Academy that you extend graduation honors to the class of 2018, Mr. Nelson.
Thank you, Mrs. McNeil, and thank you, Mrs. Molikoff and faculty. Let me pause one more time. We've had some good exercise. We can get one more exercise of applause here for a few moments to allow you to thank the faculty again, all of you and all of you, to thank the faculty again for their efforts in guiding and preparing these young men and women to bring them to this moment. Don't move your tassels yet, but let's thank the faculty. Now, graduates, please stand. As has been attested, you have met or exceeded Houghton Academy requirements. We have witnessed the bestowal of your diplomas. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, administrators, and faculty, I congratulate you and pronounce you graduates of Houghton Academy. Please move your tassels from right to left. Receive our recognition and congratulations. Now would you all please join me in standing, along with our newest alumni. We'll be led in the closing benediction by Mrs. McNeil, after which we ask that you please remain standing at your seats for the recessional, inclusive of the faculty, the undergraduates, and then Mrs. Molikoff and I.
My dear class of 2018, as you enter life's arena, I say this to you. Don't be afraid when darkness threatens. You'll learn trust. Don't give up when critics point. You'll become strong. Don't lose faith when the faithless scoff. You will know Christ. Enter the arena with the God who strides before you, with the Son who walks beside you, with the Spirit who holds your hand. He will never leave you. He will never let you down. He is the amazing journey of your life. Go forth in joy, for you are loved. Amen.